Hi, and thanks for checking out Atomic-Moto's dogfight between the Forma Adventure and the Forma Terra boots. I've logged a lot of miles at both these models personally, and I like them both very much. They have a lot of similarities, but a few subtle yet key differences that affect how they work both on and off the motorcycle. I'll give you a general breakdown of the construction of each model, and then I'll explain how they compare to each other so you can choose which one is best for you. Let's get started. First, I'll start with the Adventure. Let me move these aside a little bit. This model we've sold for quite a while. We're very familiar with it, understand it very, very well. It's aimed at the adventure touring rider. Obviously, that's why it's named the way it is, and it's very effective for that kind of riding. As far as the construction, it starts with the Forma's Dry-Tex waterproof breathable membrane inside, meaning it keeps your feet dry and allows them to breathe, and it carries a 1-year warranty for that. The sole of the Adventure is a bonded sole, much like many hiking boots. It's a little bit softer rubber compound, so it has a lot of grip, especially on things like wet surfaces like rocks. And it has a lot of flex in the toe. In fact, this boot feels a lot like a hiking boot when you have it on. The leather used on the Adventure is an oil tan leather of a very, very high quality. It's got a nice feel, very soft, great support, great feel to it. Obviously, great durability also. The protective pieces on the Adventure are substantial. There are hard inserts here in the ankle, on the inner, and also on the outer side. A plastic shin plate here. There is a shift pad over the toe that gives it a little bit of additional rigidity also on the right boot, just for symmetry. Obviously, you're not shifting on the right. But then an outer reinforcement material here also on the toe. The buckles are Forma's own design. They're a simple male-female pass-through buckle made of plastic, very easy to adjust, very, very rugged, and they are replaceable. They are available as replacements if you need to, but that is very, very rare. Unless you strike something really hard, they're super durable and they stay put. The boot is pretty light. It's about 2.7 pounds, and the shaft of the boot is reasonably slim, so you're able to get some pants like a Carhartt or some jeans over the top fairly easy. Not super easy, but you can do it, not a problem. And this boot weighs about 2.7 pounds for this size 44. That's the breakdown on the Adventure. Let's talk about the Terra. Now, this is a newer model, but I've been riding in it myself personally, and again, I like it very, very much. Now, the Terra also has Forma's waterproof breathable Dry-Tex liner, which again carries a 1-year guarantee. The sole of the Terra is attached via a different method. It is Goodyear welt, meaning is stitched on around the perimeter, or Norwegian welting as is also referred to. And that is a much more traditional, high-quality, old-school boot building technique. I like it a lot. The sole is Forma's own design. It has their own proprietary lug pattern, a little bit more aggressive lugging, and it is very stiff, much, much stiffer than the Adventure. If you try to bend the toe of this, you cannot. And so if you're going to get in a situation with a frontal impact, this boot has a lot more rigidity. The protective pieces on the Terra are also more substantial. First of all, it starts with this plastic cover over the toe that wraps on the side. It's injection molded and it's very firm. There is a similar process used for the rear heel counter. Again, it's very thick, very robust, very firm, and wraps on the side even here underneath the buckle. There are hard inserts that are cut out and dropped in on the ankle area, both here on the outer ankle, right here, and again on the inner ankle right here. And then if you look closely, there is less space, less leather in and around this, and so the ankle is a little bit more rigid. The shin plate is larger. It's also injection molded, a little bit larger, a little bit firmer, and has room for a shin plate. The leather on the Terra is not oil tan like the Adventure, but it's a very, very nice suede. It's a little bit thicker and a little bit firmer, so it's got a little bit more support. Also has a great feel, and also is really, really good, nice, excellent quality. What you would expect from boot made in this part of the world. The buckles, the levers on the Terra, straps are the same between the two boots. The levers on the Terra are an aluminum strap. They've got a little bit nicer feel to them. They're equally as durable, and they are also replaceable. In fact, the buckles are interchangeable between these two models. You can put the Terra buckles on the Adventure and vice versa if you want to. But the buckles, again, are super durable, super rugged, and they are replaceable. They are available if you need replacements, but we don't really foresee that happening. This boot is a little bit heavier. It weighs 3.3 pounds for this size 44, and the overall shape and profile of it obviously is a little bit more substantial. So that's the breakdown of the two boots. Let's talk about how they compare to each other. How do these two boots compare, and which one is right for you? Well, I'll start with the Adventure. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the sole of the Adventure is a lot more like a hiking boot, and that's how it really feels. It's a little bit softer compound, it's got better grip on loose ground, even on wet rocks, and it's got a lot more flex in it, particularly at the toe area. This boot really does feel like a hiking boot that you use on the motorcycle, yet it's also waterproof, and it also has a decent amount of support in the ankle area because of these hard inserts and how the shaft is taller and clamps very snugly around the leg. It's very light, very easy to walk in. Everybody praises the comfort of the adventure. The Terra feels a bit like a mountaineering boot that you'd use on a motorcycle. The foot and heel and overall lower part of the boot is a little bit larger and a little bit more rigid, but it still has a decent amount of flex in and around the ankle area, so it's still pretty easy to walk in, and the sole has a nice lugging pattern. It also has great grip on loose ground. The shaft of the boot is a little bit more robust and it'll accept a shin plate. This boot is great for the person that gets off the bike and does some walking, but is going deeper into the backcountry or riding on a little bit more uneven two-track or rougher ground because it has more protection. It's also a little bit heavier. The profile of the two boots is another thing to pay attention to. This boot is easy to get a pant or a Carhartt over, and this boot is much, much more difficult. You can do it. I did it with a pair of Riggs workwear pants, but it's really not easy, and in many cases it won't work at all. The two boots have the same level of excellence in terms of build quality and overall quality and materials. Forma's Drytex liner and the way that they make boots in general is excellent. Forma does a great job at boots. If you haven't heard of them, you're going to, because they just do a kick-ass job. And the durability of both models has proven to be outstanding. But in general, if you're a guy that gets off and does a lot of walking, this one is for you. And if you're a guy that does a little bit of walking but still wants some protection and wants to make sure that if they strike a rock or something like that, they have a little bit more coverage, the Terra is for you. That is our breakdown of the Forma Adventure and the Forma Terra. We hope that it's been helpful. We are Atomic-Moto, www.atomic-moto.com, home of the bombers. We are mission focused on getting you the right gear for you, your bike, and your type of riding, and also very hands-on with product. That's how we can give you this breakdown. We hope it's been helpful. Hope to see you out on the bike.